agency, by the astronaut office, that of course means to be your best self in the, most general terms.
The root of the word integrity is about being a whole. And if you think about it, this spacecraft, there's over 350 different pieces that had to be integrated and make up this one system. In nautical terms, we talk about hull integrity, or a ship being watertight when it goes out in the ocean. And so in space, I think of that as our ship's ability to hold in pressure and also to keep the hot gases out.
It comes from this root of integrated, and that's really how we see our mission. It's going to be an incredibly integrated team, and we hope that that shares the idea that it's not just our vehicle, it's everyone's vehicle.
Honestly, I just hope Artemis II is just a part of the celebration of this nation over the next 365 days. I know these milestones are big for the public. They're going to be huge for the nation, and I'll just be proud to be a part of the 250th anniversary of America.
NASA is incredibly excited to support the Freedom 250 celebrations, part of America's 250th birthday. I can't think of anything grander than America's return to the lunar environment.
This mission means everything to me. I'm so encouraged by it because I see it opening the door for why I'm at NASA, and I think everyone else is as well.
What I want to say to the men and women that built this Artemis II vehicle, simple, thank you. We've been around the world, we've been across our nation, we have seen the attention to detail, we have seen the workmanship, the craftsmanship, and it is a beautiful thing to behold.
From Europe, ESA and Airbus building the service module, to the team in the Netherlands that integrated the solar arrays, to the folks at Michoud and Kennedy and Armstrong that have worked together to build this system. Integrated, again, integrity, that have worked to give us integrity. We want to do our part because we know you've stepped up and done your part and continue to do your part.
What I would want to say to anyone that has contributed to the Artemis missions in any way is just so much admiration and respect for you.
You nailed it. You crushed it. We are doing this together because of your hard work, because you thought outside of the box, because you didn't give up. So I will just say congratulations on Artemis II.
Reid, Christina, Jeremy, Victor, first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you and your commitment, your sacrifices, all of the training, all of the planning, all of the time that you've spent preparing. Thank you to your families for allowing you to participate and to be the inspiration of an entirely new generation.
We are with you. You represent us. When you get to the other side of the moon and you look back, I don't want you to feel alone. I want you to know that there are thousands of us that are crowded inside that Orion spacecraft right with you.
I want to express immense appreciation for the workforce. I also want to express my appreciation to the NASA pioneers that have given us the knowledge and the tools and the foundation to be able to embark on a mission like Artemis II for our return to the moon and beyond.
To the four of us sitting here, the measure of success for Artemis II is seeing our colleagues on the lunar surface, and then seeing people that are following in our footsteps walking on Mars and coming back to planet Earth.
We are here to push forward with human exploration, open doors that have never been seen before, being able to take dreams and visions and turn them into reality.
We are going to carry your excitement, your aspirations, your dreams with us on this mission. Artemis II, your mission.
6 hours now since the launch of Artemis II, the Orion spacecraft atop the Space Launch System rocket. This is a test flight and the first flight of humans aboard the spacecraft. This view on your screen coming from the Orion spacecraft, a camera on its solar array wing looking back at us on Earth. Now we do have 4 astronauts working aboard the spacecraft. The commander is NASA astronaut Reid Weisman. He's a Baltimore native. He's been in space before, and he was a flight engineer for Expedition 41 aboard the International Space Station from May through November 2014, a total 165-day mission, working on science experiments in areas like human physiology, medicine, physical science, earth science, and astrophysics. He also served as chief of NASA's astronaut office from December 2020 to November 2022. Reid has 2 daughters. We saw those 2 girls waving at him as he departed the operations and checkout building today, boarded the Astrovan, and went to the launch pad. Artemis II pilot is NASA astronaut Victor Glover. He was selected as an astronaut in 2013, when at that time he was serving as a legislative fellow in the U.S. Senate. His first trip to space was in November 2020. He launched as the pilot of NASA's SpaceX Crew 1 mission, that was the first operational mission of our commercial crew program, resumed launching American rockets from American soil to the space station since the end of the shuttle program. Victor is a U.S. Navy captain and naval aviator who served as a test pilot. He has more than 3,500 flight hours in over 40 different aircraft. He added a spacecraft to that today as he piloted Orion during the manual flight of the proximity operations demonstration. And he and his wife have 4 children. Next up is NASA astronaut Cristine Koch. She is a mission specialist aboard Artemis II and a native of Grand Rapids, Michigan. She was selected to the astronaut corps in 2013, being in the same class as Victor. She's previously served as a flight engineer on the space station from March 2019 to February 2020, making her the holder of the record for the longest single space flight by a woman. That's 328 consecutive days in space. She also participated in the first ever all-female spacewalk with NASA astronaut Jessica Meir, who's now living and working aboard the space station. And before becoming an astronaut, Cristine helped build space science instruments and led scientific fieldwork in some of the most remote environments on the planet. She loves surfing, rock climbing, community service, yoga, travel, and photography. Rounding out our crew is Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen. He is a first-time flyer and will be the first Canadian to fly around the moon. He is a London, Ontario native and was selected as an astronaut in 2009. Since then, he's worked as a Capcom here in Mission Control in Houston. Capcom stands for Capsule Communicator, and that's the single person in Mission Control communicating with the astronauts in space. He's also participated in training exercises like living on the ocean floor off the coast of Florida to help simulate deep space exploration. In 2017, he became the first Canadian to lead a NASA astronaut class. He enjoys getting out on a sailboat, rock climbing, and mountain biking, and he and his wife have 3 children.
It looks like it's going to hold us, but if we did have a weather rule violated, we cannot stop and try to launch later. But the good news is the weather looks good for launch. Now, if for some reason we have to call a hold on today's launch, we have a backup opportunity.
stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
And there it looks like.
Houston, integrity for timeline.
Houston's here.
Okay, Amy, we got the 4K camera encoder installed and the camera is set up. Are we doing scene and voice for PAO or are we skipping that for today?
We do want to do a checkout of the 4K encoder, but we don't need to do scene and voice checks. And Reid, that might have not been clear. We won't be doing a formal scene and voice check for PAO purposes, but we'll do a quick one just for the encoder checkout.
Okay, so there is no PAO event, but we are going to do a 4K encoder checkout. Copy, we're setting it up now.
Good copy. And Integrity Houston, we do have you on video for the 4K encoder checkout.
That is great news. Stand by for audio checks with the wireless mic.
Copy.
Six hours and 10 minutes since liftoff.
Amy, I just did audio with the wireless mic. Did you copy?
You have good audio on. And we copy good audio on the handheld mic.
That is great news. We're ready to call 4K encoder checkout complete if you are.
We concur. 4K checkout complete, and whenever you're ready, I have some words about S-band string swap that we're interested in having you all perform. And it is great to see you all wave 4 smiling voices, and we are really enjoying seeing you up there.
Not as much as we're enjoying being here.
That is true.
And Rise is also smiling at you guys. And we're preparing to be ready for your words about, I think you said S-band. Stand by.
Standing by.
And ahead of our future public affairs events, the crew has completed a checkout of the 4K encoder video and audio. Completing that installation tonight will allow us to have them conduct some events starting tomorrow. This view on your screen coming from Orion, looking back at all of us on Earth. This is coming from a camera mounted on one of the spacecraft's solar array wings. Just a little crescent Earth. Now 6 hours and 12 minutes since launch. The first flight of humans aboard Orion.
Decent integrity on 1. I do not have a notepad, but go with the S-band string, and if I need to get one, I'll get one.
Okay, copy. We know you're doing much cabin config, but first off, we did want to check if the EMER mass deploy is complete.
Affirmative.
Great, thank you. And then for the S-band string swap, we do want you to perform an S-band string swap back to string 1. We think the communication issues earlier in the mission were due to a ground issue, but we want to confirm good comm on string 1. I have a procedure when you're ready to copy.
Ready to copy.
21.1.0. .3 for S-band string swap. Perform all steps.
And do we have a get well plan if we don't pick you up on the other string?
Checking. And Reid, if you swap to string 1 and you don't have comm with us for 2 minutes, you can swap back to string 2.
Okay, that sounds good. And can Christina go for her PAO teardown activity?
You are go for the PAO deactive activity.
Okay, we copy that, and 21.1.3 is going into work, and we have at least one use on fluids in the toilet, and it worked great.
We are so happy to hear that.
And Christina is wondering how long until the CCU dump?
Approximately standby. Approximately 15 minutes to the CCU dump, and we'll give you a call as a reminder.
Copy. Houston integrity, com check on string 1.
Loud and clear, how me?
We have you the same. We are on S-band string 1 primary. Looks good.
Okay. We concur, and we will be staying on string 1.
Astronauts aboard Orion calling down to speak with Artemis Mission Control here at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. What you see in the bottom right of your screen. Capcom, or capsule communicator right now, is Amy Dill. She has been speaking with the crew since the Orbit 1 shift took over. The capsule communicator is the only person in mission control that speaks directly with the crew. You can see her there down closer to the bottom left of your screen, and right next to her is NASA astronaut Raja Chari. Having one voice in mission control speaking with the crew allows us to keep communications clear and concise. They gather information from all of the flight controllers here in the room alongside the flight director and make decisions on what they need to share with the crew aboard Orion.
Houston, integrity on 1 for fan speed / cabin temperature.
Houston's listening.
Amy, is it possible to lower the cabin fan speed a bit? There's a lot of airflow in here, and if that is not possible, can we increase the temperature?
Well, I think the answer is yes, right, Econ? We can do one of those two things.
Copy, Reid. We understand the request, and we are discussing how to implement. We'll follow up.
Yeah, sounds good. No urgency there, but just know that that will be our desire down the road.
Copy. Integrity, Houston, maneuver in progress, 5 minutes. And Integrity Houston for the enabled SM RCS prop cautions. Those are, again, understood with the maneuver, and we are working to suppress the ones that are enabled.
Sounds good, Amy. We copy all.
Now over 6.5 hours mission elapsed time, or time since the Artemis II mission began, with liftoff of Orion atop the Space Launch System rocket at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Since then, the crew has seen the perigee raise maneuver and apogee raise burn before moving into the proximity operations demo. They detached from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage and then used that stage as a docking target. Of course, we did not dock today, but this was great practice for us to understand how it feels to manually fly Orion. So pilot Victor Glover was manually controlling the spacecraft in relation to the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. We also saw CubeSat deployment. Eventually, we had the USS-2 burn, the upper stage separation burn that took us away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, and the ICPS itself had its own disposal burn. The crew is now working through some cabin configuration. Once their cabin configuration is complete, they will have their private medical conferences to report how they're feeling down to teams here on the ground. They'll get into their chance to sleep a little bit before the perigee raise burn in the middle of their sleep shift. Once that burn is complete, we will then get another sleep shift for Orion. That perigee raise burn is to raise the lowest point of Orion's orbit around the Earth right now. It is in a high Earth orbit. And that perigee raise burn will set us up for the translunar injection burn tomorrow. Translunar injection is the burn that we need to send us around the moon and is also our deorbit burn.
Integrity Houston, no action on the enabled caution again, and I have a couple of items for you whenever you're ready.
Okay, Houston, we're ready. Go ahead.
Okay, first off, to address the cabin environment, we're going to command cabin fan speed lower from the ground.
Thank you.
Two more things. Also, you probably already have, but your go to set cockpit and cabin lighting as well as DU brightness per your preference. We are well out of the eclipse.
You're right, we have. Thank you.
I figured you might have. And we're also at that time where we're ready for you to do the CCU dump, and I have a procedure when you're ready to copy.
Stand by on that one.
Standing by.
Okay, Houston, we are ready to copy the CCU dump procedure.
Okay, it is 26.2.201 CCU dump, and step 1.1 is complete for configuring heaters. We've done that from the ground.
Okay, Houston, we copy. Thank you.
And as an additional, once you get there, there's a check step in step 5.1 for confirming heaters reach set point. They are there, so you're good to continue once you get there.
Okay, we copy your 1.1 and 5.1. Thanks.
Capcom Amy Dill has been communicating with the crew aboard Orion, letting them know they will be able to turn down the fan inside the spacecraft, and is also going to work with them on how to empty the CCU. That's the collapsible contingency urinal. As you heard earlier, the crew had some time troubleshooting the toilet. That has since been resolved, and they are now able to empty and process what was used before they used the toilet.
Houston, integrity. Question on CCU dump. Also a status. The O2 N2 med checkout activity is complete.
Copy status. Ready for question.
Yes, the CUD-1 ECFA was not installed yet. I have located it. Am I go to remove all of the packaging around the connectors and go ahead and connect it to CUD-1, or is there a procedure I should be referred to for that?
And Christina, you are go to remove all the packaging and to connect ECFA to CUD-1.
Copy all.
Integrity Houston for upcoming conference.
Go ahead for upcoming conference.
Whenever you're ready, we can privatize Orion to Earth 2.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to monitor the flight of Orion on the Artemis II mission, first flight of humans aboard the spacecraft. Orion is now over 32,000 miles from Earth since launching 6 hours and 48 minutes ago. Again, we're looking at an approximately 10-day mission. The crew will soon be stepping into their private medical conferences. These are scheduled to allow the crew time to report down to the ground on how they are feeling during the mission. Once the crew completes their private medical conferences, they will be able to start winding down and getting into their pre-sleep period. They will have a chance to take a nap, essentially, before waking up for their perigee raise burn monitoring operations. Once perigee raise burn is complete, and again, perigee raise burn is to lift the lowest point of Orion's orbit around the Earth, and we are in a high Earth orbit. Once perigee raise burn is complete, we will have the crew go back to sleep for another several hours before they wake up tomorrow at about 2100 MET, actually about 2000 MET, which is around 1:15 p.m. Houston time, Central Time. It'll be a busy day for the crew tomorrow. They will have their first full day inside the spacecraft. They'll have the opportunity to talk about the vehicle status with the crew in Mission Control Houston. They will also begin exercising.